You're here because you sense the untapped potential within you, waiting, like a seed under the snow, for the right season to sprout. In today's world, where the noise of external expectations can drown out our inner voice, there is a path that cuts through the clamor and leads us to the peak of our own personal power. This path is paved with the profound insights of Stoicism, a philosophy not just of thought, but of action and resilience. Today, we will delve into 12 Stoic thoughts that have the power to not just change the way you think, but the way you live. These are timeless keys that can unlock the doors to your undiscovered potential, principles that can transform challenges into triumphs and doubts into decisive action. And believe me, the number 12 will change your life. First thought, the power of now. The Stoics remind us that time's river flows swiftly, and we can never touch the same water twice. In the now, this present moment, lies our power, the potential to act, to decide, to live fully and with intent. It's the only time we're truly alive, the only time action is possible. Seneca once wrote, "True happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future." By focusing on the now, we free ourselves from the chains of past regrets and future anxieties. It's in this moment that we can take the steps to shape our destiny, not by lamenting what was or fearing what might be, but by acting with purpose and presence. Embracing the now means engaging fully with the task at hand, listening deeply in conversations, and finding gratitude for the little things that this exact moment offers. This focus is what turns the ordinary into the extraordinary and unlocks the richness of life that Stoicism teaches us to cherish. Second thought, control and acceptance. In the pursuit of potential, Stoicism teaches us the art of dichotomy, understanding what is in our control and what isn't. This knowledge is empowering. It allows us to direct our energy towards our actions, efforts, and attitudes, the realms where we hold sway. By accepting what we cannot influence, the whims of fortune, the choices of others, the march of time, we gain peace of mind and conserve our energies for where we can truly make an impact. This principle doesn't suggest passivity, but rather a strategic focus. It means to act with intention where we can and flow with the current where we must. The serenity that comes from this acceptance isn't resignation. It's a strategic acknowledgement that releases us from unnecessary stress and centers our efforts where they count. Control and acceptance aren't just philosophical ideas, they're practical strategies for a more focused and fruitful life. They remind us to cultivate our garden and appreciate the beauty of the blooms, no matter the weather that falls upon them. Third thought, perception is key. The lens through which we view our circumstances dictates our reality. Stoicism empowers us with the understanding that while we may not control every event that happens, we have the power to control the narrative we attach to it. This is where our true power lies. By shifting our perception, challenges transform into opportunities, and setbacks become setups for comebacks. It's not the events themselves that disturb us, but rather the views we take of them. When we change the stories we tell ourselves, we change our experiences. Perception is the craft of painting on the canvas of reality. It's choosing to see the victory in the learning rather than the defeat in the loss. When we adopt a perspective that looks for growth, strength, and possibility, we unlock doors where others might see walls. This ability to reframe our view is a superpower in the quest to unleash our potential. Fourth thought, obstacles as opportunities. Stoicism offers a radical proposition. View every obstacle as a chance to practice some virtue and improve. Each difficulty carries with it a hidden opportunity, a pathway not to be deterred from our goals, but rather to forge us stronger as we reach them. Life's hurdles are not stop signs, but signposts, signaling the way to growth and fortitude. When we hit a wall, It prompts us to become more creative, resilient, and dynamic. Just as a river uses rocks and boulders to create depth and beauty in its flow, we too can use our challenges to create depth in our character and beauty in our lives. It's not that the Stoics sought hardship, but they recognized that since difficulties are inevitable, they should be utilized. This mindset turns life into a training ground where every problem is reframed as a project and the unexpected is embraced as undiscovered potential. Fifth thought, the virtue of action. Stoicism isn't just a theoretical guide to living, it's a call to action. The Stoic philosophy places immense value on the virtue of taking action, not just contemplating what is good, but embodying it through our deeds. It's about aligning our actions with our principles, ensuring that we walk our talk. Action is where intention meets reality. It's easy to espouse values, yet it's through our actions that these values manifest in the world. Each decision to act is like a sculptor's chisel, shaping the marble of our lives into the masterpiece we envision. Action, then, is not just a step towards achieving our goals. It is the expression of our character. In the realm of potential, action is the catalyst. It transforms the dormant into the dynamic. By embracing the virtue of action, we become not just dreamers, but doers, actively crafting the narrative of our lives with the power of our own hands. Sixth thought, detachment from desire. In the quest to realize our full potential, Stoicism teaches the liberating practice of detaching from desire. This isn't about suppressing or ignoring our wants, but rather about not being controlled by them. It's a commitment to not let our desires dictate our happiness or peace of mind. This detachment is not a denial of pleasure or ambition. Instead, it's an invitation to find freedom and contentment with what we have while we pursue what we want. It's about maintaining inner tranquility regardless of external circumstances, being driven by our values, not by an endless thirst for more. By loosening the grip of desire, we allow ourselves to engage with life on our own terms. We become masters of our happiness rather than slaves to our cravings. And in this mastery lies the quiet strength to move toward our goals with purpose, poise, and a calm that cannot be disturbed by the ebb and flow of fortune. Seventh thought, purposeful living. Stoicism heralds the importance of living with a clear purpose. It's about knowing your why, that driving force behind all that you do. When your days are aligned with a purpose greater than yourself, each task becomes infused with significance, and life is lived with direction and conviction. Purpose acts as a compass, guiding us through life's storms and keeping us steady when distractions abound. It reminds us what is essential, focusing our energies on what truly matters. In a world brimming with endless pursuits, knowing your purpose simplifies decisions, as choices either serve your purpose or they don't. Living purposefully is about creating a legacy, not of material accumulation, but of impact and contribution. It's the difference between merely existing and truly living. When we commit to purposeful living, we move from passive participants to architects of our fate, building a life that resonates with meaning and authenticity. Eighth thought, the tranquility of simplicity. The Stoic path champions the tranquility that simplicity brings. In an age of excess, where the quest for more can lead to a cluttered existence, Stoicism calls us back to the basics, to the essence of what brings lasting satisfaction. Simplicity isn't about having less for the sake of less. It's about curating our lives to have more time, space, and energy for what truly enriches us. Embracing simplicity means cutting through the noise to what's authentic and real. It's the intentional choice of quality over quantity, substance over show. When we simplify, we remove the distractions that dilute our focus and dissipate our energies, providing clarity to our vision and actions. Simplicity gifts us with tranquility, not the tranquility of a still pond, but of a clear path through a forest. It fosters an environment where our minds can cultivate peace and our spirits can thrive on the undisturbed focus of our pursuits. In the embrace of simplicity, we find a life of depth, balance, and profound contentment. Ninth thought, resilience in adversity. Stoicism doesn't just acknowledge the presence of adversity. It sees it as a fundamental part of the human experience, a crucible in which the robustness of our spirit is tested and honed. Resilience is not about avoiding the storm, but learning to stand firm within it and to emerge not just unbroken, but unshakable. Resilience is the steadfast resolve that comes from understanding that adversity is temporary and that our reactions to it define its impact on our lives. It's the recognition that what does not harm our core being, our capacity for virtue, wisdom, and action, cannot truly harm us. Building resilience is a proactive journey. It involves embracing challenges as they come, adapting to them with flexibility, and growing from each experience. With resilience, each setback is reframed as a lesson, and the very act of enduring becomes an act of triumph. In the face of life's inevitable trials, our resilient nature is both our shield and our beacon, guiding us back to our path with renewed vigor and insight. 10th thought, the reflection of self-improvement. Within Stoicism lies a deep-seated tradition of self-reflection as a tool for personal growth. The practice isn't just about identifying flaws or weaknesses, but about acknowledging our current state with honesty and then forging a path towards betterment. It's a continuous process of becoming rather than a pursuit of a final destination of perfection. The Stoics understood that self-improvement is not a solitary act. It's informed by our interactions with others and our contemplation of their wisdom. But the focus remains on the self, because that is where we have the most power to enact change. Reflection is the mirror we hold up to our souls, asking, who am I? Who do I wish to become? Engaging in regular self-reflection equips us with a clearer sense of our virtues and vices, our strengths and areas for growth. It fosters an inner environment where transformation can occur, not through self-criticism, but through self-awareness and a committed orientation towards continual improvement. 11th thought, the fellowship of humanity. The Stoic philosophy is deeply rooted in the concept of sympathia, the interconnection of all people. It holds that each individual is part of the larger tapestry of humanity, and that understanding this unity is pivotal in our lives. To live as a Stoic is to recognize that we are citizens of the world, and our actions ripple outward, affecting the collective whole. This fellowship of humanity encourages us to consider our actions not just for personal gain, but for the welfare of others. It implores us to act with kindness, fairness, and a sense of responsibility to our fellow beings. It's the acknowledgement that while our journeys are personal, they are not solitary. We thrive through cooperation, understanding, and mutual support. Embracing the fellowship of humanity allows us to see beyond our individual struggles, to empathize, to connect, and to contribute to the greater good. It is in this space of communal well-being that we find one of the deepest sources of meaning and satisfaction in life. Through the lens of Stoicism, to serve others is to serve ourselves, as all are inextricably linked in the grand scheme of existence. 12th thought, the legacy of character. Stoicism teaches us that the most enduring legacy we can leave is not one of wealth or achievements, but of character. It's the essence of who we are that echoes in our actions and resonates with those around us long after we're gone. The Stoic focus on virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance is about crafting a character that withstands the test of time and circumstance. Our character is our imprint on the world, the sum of our choices, actions, and values. It's built through the small, everyday decisions that reflect our commitment to living a principled life. Stoics believe that character is our most reliable form of wealth, providing a foundation upon which everything else is measured. The legacy of character is what inspires others, what teaches without words, and what gives life its deepest meaning. In the pursuit of a Stoic life, we are encouraged to ask ourselves not what we want to achieve, but who we want to be. And in this relentless pursuit, we shape a legacy that transcends the bounds of our physical existence. A legacy that is not just remembered, but lived on through the virtues we embody. Remember, the journey of Stoicism is a personal one. It's about your path, your choices, your growth. As we part ways today, take these thoughts not just as ideas to ponder, but as calls to action. Let them stir you into motion, challenge you to reflect, and inspire you to connect with the common thread of humanity that binds us all. We're not just individuals on separate paths, but a community of seekers, each striving toward our highest selves. Share your stories, your struggles, and your victories in the comments below. Let's foster a fellowship of growth and support, for it is together that we can face the trials of life with unwavering courage and unyielding strength.